Hi, I'm Dana. You're watching Life, Love, and Books, and today I'm going to be doing comics, what I've read so far. So basically, in November, I decided that I was going to try and get into comic books and just kind of test the waters of a new kind of storytelling genre or type that I haven't really tried all that much for. This came on because I discovered that there's a Smallville Season 11, which is a series of comic books that take place after the end of Smallville Season 10. So I went ahead, I bought the first volume of it on my phone, which you can see here. It's called Guardian, and I was like, holy crap, this is great. So I went ahead and bought the next 4 volumes in physical copy, which I've been reading, and I'll talk more about those later. So I basically was like, I'm gonna get into comics after I read that, because I totally wasn't expecting to love it. So I went ahead and I started reading The Flash Season 0, which is just weekly comics, and they're a story that takes place in between 2 of the episodes of The Flash. I'm not totally sure which ones. And then I also picked up Arrow Volume 1 and 2, which my local library had. So those are a series of vignettes that take place in between the episodes of Season 1 of Arrow. So they're kind of like origin stories for some characters that don't really have them. And they're just like little tidbits that they didn't really tell you in the show, but like aren't necessary. I thought it was really cool. I really enjoyed that. And then after that, I really loved The Flash, like the TV show, so I figured the best way to get into comics was to pick a hero and kind of read that hero story. So I picked The Flash. So I started at Flash Rebirth, which from what I can tell, because I've read a lot of Wikipedia pages on superheroes lately, Barry Allen was absorbed into the Speed Force at the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths in order to save like this whole big multiverse collision from happening. And then 23 years later, after the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths, Jeff Johns, who is one of the head writers at DC, now, I don't know if he was when he wrote Flash Rebirth, decided to bring Barry Allen back from the dead. So he wrote a comic, which I really enjoyed, called Flash Rebirth. And then I picked up The Dastardly Death of the Rogues, which picks up directly after Flash Rebirth. So we're still following Barry Allen as he's kind of re-entering into society after he's been gone for so long, because, you know, he's been in the Speed Force. And we're following there's a lot of time travel plots in The Flash, which I think is super cool because I love time travel. So these group of reverse rogues come back to the future. They're like, Barry Allen, you killed someone. So they're trying to get Barry into the future to stop him from doing a future crime. Anyway, that's really confusing, but you should definitely check it out because I thought it was really good. After that, I actually still have this one, and I read Flash, Road to Flashpoint. I haven't read Flashpoint yet, but from what I can tell, Flashpoint is this huge time paradox story, and actually they ended up restarting the DC universe after Flashpoint. So that was kind of the last book before the New 52 came out, from what I can tell. I'm not an expert. This follows Barry Allen on the road to Flashpoint. So from what I can tell, the Flashpoint was started by a time paradox created by Professor Zoom. So we're learning a little bit about his origin story, and this was good. After that, I read Smallville Season 11, Detective, which is the second volume of the Smallville Season 11, and this has Clark Kent meeting Batman, which was really fun. I'm really sad that they couldn't actually do that into the TV show because of copyright issue. Like, I don't know, there's some issues with using like your big characters. That's why they never had Tom Welling in the suit on the show, because like there's some weird, I don't even know, it's confusing. But this was really fun. I loved watching kind of them interact. I'm not like the biggest Batman fan, and I'm not even a huge Superman fan. I just really like Smallville. After I read that, I read what might be the best. This is the best that I've read, and it's Identity Crisis by Brad Meltzer. This is crazy. So this is a murder mystery story following like kind of not the biggest superheroes, but following a lot of superheroes. And it just has really interesting art. I don't know if it's not beautiful, but like it's really interesting. So basically, Elastic Man's wife gets murdered. He's one of the few superheroes who like doesn't wear a mask. Like everyone knows he's Elastic Man. And his wife Sue gets murdered. So everyone's trying to figure out who did it, because they got into the house without triggering any of the alarms that they had set up. And they can't figure out how she was murdered. So all of the superheroes who are alive are trying to figure it out. We mostly follow Green Arrow and Atom. So that is Oliver Queen and Ray Palmer, who are both in Arrow right now, which I thought was interesting. But this story is really good. I don't think you actually need to know anything about superheroes to really understand this story. Like, I had to look up who Oracle was, and I looked up the life of Calculator Man, but I didn't really need to do that. This is just a really, really good story. Like, really enjoyable. It really explores like superhero, supervillain, which I thought was super interesting. It was just really good. It was really good. After I read Identity Crisis, I read Smallville Season 11, Volume 3, Haunted, which is Clark Kent interacting with Bart Allen. And this was really fun to read because I've been reading a lot about the Flash world, so I was kind of recognizing more things than I would have if I had read it before I'd been reading all of the Flash stuff. Just like Jay Garrick, like the names, and like I know more about the Speed Force, so that was super cool to read about. So I hope you will join me as I work closer into this whole comics thing. For now, I'm Dana, you're watching Life, Love, and Books, and I will see you next time. Bye!